Hey everyone, I'm starting early, mostly because it's going to be really super boring. So this is what I'm working on. Give me a moment because I'm not on the right page. I am currently working on the pitch deck, which I was doing yesterday. So what I did was took all of the ones I sorted yesterday, all the screen grabs, and I have put them into this semblance of order. And my poor little puppy wants some attention, don't you, buddy? Yes, you do. Shall we say hi to everybody? You want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Yeah. Yeah, you do. Okay, cool. This is what I do. I work from bed toward the end of the night. Say hi, buddy. Say hi. Look. Say. Oh. Ow, ow, ow. Hang on. Hang on a second, little buddy. Oh. Good Lord. My screen is a little dirty. There we go. That'll help. All right. Back to work. Audience demographics. So, do you guys want to see what I have so far? All right, we'll start here, and we will. Yes, again, I'm not doing a very good job of doing what I need to do. Pitch deck, there we go. All right. So now you guys can see what I'm doing. If you are actually in the call on the Google Meet, I will actually present this. Actually, I'm not going to. I'll do it that way. Or can I? Presenter view. Yes, I will do it that way. Enter full screen. Share this tab instead. Alright, everybody should be able to see, yes, what I'm doing. And I wish I was able to see the actual, maybe I can. No, it doesn't. Well, that blows. Sorry, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. I need to get everything situated. There we go. And don't show this again. Now you should be able to still see what I am doing. Yeah, you can. All right, groovy. All right, so this is what I'm working on. This is the pitch deck, aka media kit. So it just goes through the Adventure Army nonprofit and what we're doing and some stats behind it. So this is the history of Adventure Army.
This is a story about a dude and his dog and how Adventure Army was born. I'm Sir Adam Meek III, and the furball is Sir Alex Winesalot. Alex grew up on a 10-acre hobby farm in Mississippi with 7 other Old English sheepdogs. Alex was my breeder's stud, and he was used to exploring the great outdoors. His best friend was a donkey. Not that donkey, not that one either, that's better. In July 2020, when Alex was 2, he moved from Mississippi to Ohio. He was supposed to move to another large property, but he and 6 of his pack had to be placed in a kennel. Alex was in the kennel for 10 days. During that time, he had been neutered because he and his last littermate produced a deaf puppy, a recessive trait. Alex was pretty freaked out after being ripped from the ultimate dog life on a farm, to being thrown in jail for 10 days, then moving to Michigan and living in a strange new place. Alex and I traveled several times between Michigan, New York, South Carolina, and Florida the next several weeks. We stopped at my breeder's place a couple times to let Alex know I was friends with his mom and to see all of his old friends. Slowly he came out of his shell, but he was still a little freaked out around guys that weren't me. In September 2020, I adopted Alex's last littermate, Bubbles. After 6 weeks of being around Bubbles, Alex was finally coming out of his shell. Sadly, Bubbles had to be put to sleep because her stomach flipped around, knotting her digestive tract. It was gut-wrenching to realize that's what was happening. You can still see the dirt in her paw print where she was trying to dig a hole to die in. One thing large dog owners need to be mindful of is a phenomenon called bloat. If you watch the 2008 movie Marley and Me, you'll know that this happens when dogs move too quickly before they have time to finish digesting their food. There is nothing worse than having to put down a pet and then have to pay for it. One service Adventure Army will provide is no-cost euthanasia for your dog. Another service is to provide preventative flea, tick, and worm treatment for your dog. Alex loves to go adventuring, and I figured your dog does too. Let's keep them safe with preventative treatment, which includes vaccines, too. I took a 4-day business trip and had to leave Alex at home with my childhood friend Beth, whom Alex loves. Sadly, Alex missed me so much he didn't eat the entire time I was gone. That realization made me register Alex as an emotional support animal. Alex goes everywhere I go and loves to explore new places and making other people happy. Alex and I invite you to follow along on our adventures and help out our cause by liking, subscribing, and sharing these videos. It helps fund the Adventure Army causes. We also invite you to check out our website so you can discover more.
So that is the video that I created. And then it gets into meeting the duo. So you guys can read over that between what Sir Alex Wines-a-Lot and Sir Adam Meek III is actually all about. All right, moving on. So we go into some statistics. So there are 8.5 million dogs or 86.5 million dogs in the U.S. and 65.1 million dog owners in the U.S. That's 1.5 dogs per owner, and additionally 32.5% of U.S. dog owners make less than $75,000 a year. 50% of all U.S. population makes less than $75,000 a year. So let's get into dog ownership in the United States, the top 10 states that have the most dogs. So Idaho has 58%, Montana 51% of the population, almost 52% of the population, 51.5% in Arkansas, 51% in Mississippi, West Virginia. So it's really, the highest one is Idaho. Everything else is right around 50%. So I thought that was interesting. Here's some more interesting stats. There are 44.6 million households that have dogs, and there are 62 million households that own dogs. So that is pretty interesting. We're going to take a look at this household right now. So the average number of people per household in the United States is 2.51. What does that actually mean? Well, it could be roommates, but it's more than likely going to end up being families of some way, shape, or form. So this breaks everything down by earners. So if you're in Alabama, you only have one earner. You're single, 60, and about 72.5 for 2 people. So when we go through these numbers, I just want you to keep in mind about that, because we're going to go back to that and take a look at what people actually make in Idaho. So it's about $80,000, 81 in Montana, 67 in Arkansas, 62.5 Mississippi, 64.5 West Virginia, 77.5 in Indiana, 71 Oklahoma, 102 in Colorado. Imagine that. Nebraska, this was pretty shocking, $83,500 is the average, and Tennessee is 75.5. Your average pay right here, 69.5. I want you to keep in remembering that. So now we're going to take a look at the percentage of distribution of household income in the United States in 2022. So a vast majority, people would probably take a look at this and say, okay, this is about middle class, and this is like upper class, and this is like the rich, right? Keep in mind that 50% of the US population lives in this territory. And let's take a little deeper dive into that. Here's me, right? I'm a single earner. I should be making almost $63,000 here in Florida. And we'll take a quick look at where I thought I was, right? 50,000 to about 75. I thought I was going to be on track to making 80. Here's where I actually was. Almost, or where I'm going to be, I should say, about $45,000 this year. And how much does it cost to own a dog? We went through these numbers before. I'm not going to spend too much time. Just keep in mind that right here, my average cost is roughly $36,000. It should be closer to 40, except for I knock some of this stuff down. The trio pills right here, they are supposed to be 40 or so for Alex, but I'm getting them at Costco for 25, so that knocked down my price to almost in half. So keep that in mind. How much does it cost to live? Well, I have a life, kind of, sort of. My food costs are roughly right around here. I'm throwing in a little bit extra because I do get things like peanut butter for him. I also eat that. Because of my low income, I actually visit food banks, which is pretty sad. I would love to be able to afford to feed myself, but I do need assistance, and that is where some of that comes from. So my average cost to live is about $400 a month, or right around $4,800 a year. So here are my 2023 numbers. So by the end of the year, I had made, oh, that's interesting, almost 55. My rent was 10.8 for the year. My student loans were 48 for the year, 4,800 for the year. My medical insurance was 1,500 for the year. My communications were 2,500 a year. That is for 1, 2, 3, 4 lines and $100 a month for gig service for internet, which is the best price I could find for the amount of broadcasting that I can end up doing. So that's the reason why I have a big one. Utilities right around $3,600. Total grocery right around $7,200. Total leftover $24,100. You could live off of that. However, I do have a car loan, which is $3,600 a year. Total insurance, $4,200 a year. Total gas, $3,600 a year. Alex cost about $3,600 a year. The business itself cost about $6,000 a year. There are other costs that go into that because I have insurance that I need to pay for, yada, yada, yada. That leaves me with $1,800 a year, or $150 a month. You can see how things can go sideways pretty quick. So how much does it cost to have a kid? People would say, "Hey, don't get a dog. They cost too much." But people never say, "Hey, don't have kids because it costs too much." The government certainly wants you to have more kids. So this is what the number of families in the United States, right around 50 million. And this is the cost to raise a child in 2024 by state. I'll leave this up for a couple of minutes so you can actually see. Here's 1 through 15. Here's 16 through 30. I'll turn the page here in a moment so you can take a quick look. This is the annual cost of raising one child. There you go. For 2 working adults. And then it breaks down childcare, housing, food, that kind of thing per year. So all of that is kind of taken into play with that. Here's the second page, 31 through 50. So you can take a quick look at that. Don't worry, we're going to come back to that here in a moment. So let's go back and take a look at this, which was the average pay for the top 10 states that own dogs, right? We can pretty much assume that most households are going to have at least one kid. if you take a look at two, we'll take a look at two here in a moment. But Idaho, $80,000, Montana, 81, Arkansas. Here is how much it actually costs to have a kid. So 21.5, 21, 17.5, 16, 19.5, 21.5, 19.5, 35, 30.5, 23, and then 19.5. So the average pay was $69.5 thousand. Average cost per kid, $21,000. You got 48,000 left over. Let's take a look at those numbers again. Average number of children under 18 with families and with children. I don't like the way this is written. It should just be number of families with children in the United States from 1960 to 1923 or 2023. The average cost right here, or the average cost, the average number has always hovered right around 2 for the past 30 years or so. So that's what you're looking at, an average number of kids. So we'll go back and take a look at this. If there are 50,000 households that are families, and there are 62 million households, 44%. I'm trying to do math. So roughly half of these numbers here are going to average leftover before housing and everything, 27.5, if that makes any sense at all. So that's where these people actually live, is right here. 7.6% of the U.S. population. So that $75,000 that people are actually making, it's actually more like this if you have a couple of kids. So let's talk about dogs. All right, so did you know that the average cost to veterinary services for dogs in the U.S. without spaying and neutering is about $1,100 a year? $400 is the average cost to spay or neuter your dog, and 80% of dogs in the U.S. are spayed or neutered. Did you know one female dog can produce 60 puppies in her lifetime, and only 10% of all dogs born will find a permanent home in the U.S.? $300 is the average cost to euthanize your dog. There are 3.9 million dogs that are turned into shelters for adoption each year. Nearly 2 million shelter dogs are euthanized each year. Product service information. I'm actually going to throw in a couple more in here, but I'm giving you guys the product tour right now. So that's where we're at. So Adventure Armie is a nonprofit providing free preventative and end-of-life care for all dogs in the U.S., covering vaccinations, parasite control, spaying, neutering, and end-of-life services. Adventure Armie will become the national clearinghouse for all dog-related veterinary care. And here is something that I am super, super proud of. Hang on a second here. I am going to Adventure Armie show you something that you have not seen. Oh, and I stopped presenting. I am so sorry. You guys are not seeing anything at all. I suck. All right, I'll go back and show you some of this stuff. Right here is our partner page. So I had a great conversation today with a couple people online. One person, I'm not really sure if she wants me to mention her name, but I reached out to her first. She has a dog service, and she also has sheepdogs. And I said, "Where did you get these sheepdogs?" And she said, "I got them from Kirby Sheepies in Milton, Florida." So those are some of her puppies, and she gets all of these. All of her dogs come from European markets, and they are all show dogs, quality show dogs. So they are spent down from that. This is the cool thing. This is Terry, and she actually hand delivers all of her puppies. So it's a very personal experience when you go with her, which is like freaking awesome. I love that whole idea. So I'm super happy that this is what is going on. So we'll go back to the pitch deck here. Moving on, the audience demographics: 15% of the population live in rural areas. $49,000 per year is the average rural U.S. income. 38% of the U.S. population owns a dog. 71% of the rural U.S. population owns a dog. So, with Adventure Army, 44 million dogs can be spared the agony of a painful and prolonged death due to parasite or viruses, and almost 67 or 670,000 unwanted dogs won't be euthanized at shelters in the U.S. because they're not going to be surrendered by owners who are just financially strapped. They can actually keep their dogs, so they're going to be healthy, and that's what we want. There's a whole bunch of case studies, Project Street Vet. These are all happening right now. So Project Street Vet, I'm proud to say that they are out of San Diego. Had a couple, one conversation with them, an email conversation saying that they were looking to see where their expansion projects would be. I was not at a stage where I was like, okay, tap me, let's go do this. So I would love to be able to take their project and multiply that, help them multiply it, which would be great. There's Be the Solution, which is here locally in Tallahassee, Florida. They give out vouchers for spaying and neutering. They also have an outreach program with cats. They try to do dogs, but dogs are a little more cagey. Cats are a little bit easier to catch. So they go out and capture and neuter and spay stray cats, which is awesome. Street Vet, this is actually out of the UK. I've had a conversation with the owner there and the founder there, and they're great. There's a whole bunch of different, case studies that you can actually take a look at. And there's FAQs. How are we going to fund this? Well, through grants, donations, subscriber content, and also merch. Cost savings come through direct pharma discounts, which I'm going to start working on sometime. I just need to show that there's actually a commitment from veterinarians and also a need from the community. So this is the reason why I'm going to go back to this page right here, and we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom to services. So please register if you need services. If you are a veterinarian and you want to support the cause, just register here. Just say, hey, I'm interested. I'm not going to hit you up. I will put you on a monthly newsletter, and that'll tell you everything we're going to do. I will keep it short and concise and with humor, I guess is the best way to put it. Partnerships. That is what I just completed today. So thank you, Terry, and Terry's amazing husband, Sean. He is a disabled veteran, and he and I are going to be working together, trying to do some partnerships between this nonprofit and what other nonprofit that he deems is going to be good for veterans, which is going to be great. And then if you'd like to interview, just reach out here. So register. Go to Facebook pages and like, and comment, and share. Those are the big things that we are looking for that's going to be helpful. So we already talked about direct farmer discounts, corporate sponsorships, and of course strategic partnerships with other nonprofits. 90% of all profits are going to go toward these goals. 5% of the profit goes toward marketing, and 5% of all profit goes toward business expenses, including salaries. So we are taking a very small cut. Most of it goes back into the nonprofit itself. I should add on here that there is another funding way that I'm going to be doing things, and that is to open a laundromat and dry cleaning and mending service. So I'm going to start looking at, I already have one location in mind. I'm waiting for hear back from the owner of the place to find out what they're going to end up doing that with them, which is going to be great. And that is going to be a nonprofit as well. So the cost to do laundry in low income neighborhoods, which is where I live, is going to fall in line and help out families in the long run too. And all of the income from that, all the profits from that are going to end up feeding into Adventure Army. I have some stats on that I will share with you later once I have that all taken care of. But in the meantime, I still need to go through and do a bunch of other things. How you guys can help. Word of mouth advertising. Share on your socials. Talk to your veterinarian. Cross market with Adventure Army. Co-sponsor or co-opt advertising. So if we're dog related or dog adjacent, we could do some advertising as nonprofits. There is some free things for us, which is going to be awesome. And there's also some in-kind matching things as well. So together we could probably reach a lot more people. And I would love to be able to do that. And of course, donate, but I am not set up to take donations right now. So if you want to pledge, that is one thing, but I cannot collect. So if you want to reach out to me, then by all means, please do so. I think that is about it. Thank you for your consideration. Your generous contribution today will go directly to building of the Adventure Army ERM and marketing campaigns. Please reach out to explore opportunities for our organizations to grow. And there's my information right there. So, kids, that's all I got. Okay? I am going to peace out. And we'll see you tomorrow. I got to feed this dog and take him for walkies. Oh, I said the word. He didn't hear it. All right, we'll see you.